Cooking with Treyvaud, it's about a lot of different things, this series. It's about showing you top quality produce, it's about bringing you to the most amazing locations around in Kerry, but also it's about simple food. I want everybody who watches this to turn around and say, I can make that. That's not that difficult. And sometimes less is more. And for this particular dish, that's exactly what we're doing. Less is more, because I've got very few ingredients, but what I do have are absolute top quality. We've got the most stunning, world-renowned Kenmare Bay scallops. They are so fresh, it's just beautiful. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a carpaccio of scallop. And carpaccio basically means very thinly sliced raw scallops. But I've one rule with scallops, guys. You must cook the roe. That's the coral. That's the orange bit. So we're going to saute them off, and we're going to make a beautiful carpaccio of scallops. So let's stop talking Treyvaud and show the good people at home what to do. So let's get a good close-up in here on our beautiful fresh scallop. So you can see here that the coral is still attached to it. So basically what we're going to do is you just simple as get your knife and just separate the coral from the scallop. It's as easy as that. There's one little bit of a membrane here, tough bit. We want to take that off, so we just slice that straight off. And you know what? Beautiful. Let's give that to the fish. And now what we do, cut it as thinly as possible. And we are out in the wild here, guys. We are outdoors. So don't be afraid if you see the odd fly flying around, because we're invading their territory, not the other way around. So keep it nice and thin, good sharp knife, and that's exactly what we've got. Now, I want you to understand why we want to cut it so thinly, because when you're eating raw fish, and raw fish is fantastic, the thinner you keep it, the nicer it is. If it's big, chunky, the texture-wise, it's not great. So we want to keep it nice and thin. So, slice through, and voila. And we keep that in our little dish. Yeah. Now, don't forget, guys, Cooking with Treyvaud is about the scenery where we are. We are in the beautiful National Park in Killarney, down in one of the Killarney lakes. Just to give you an idea, Mucker's house is right behind us, and then we go up that way there to the Gap of Dunlo, or to Mall's Gap, and to Ladies View, and millions upon millions of people come every year to see this, and there's a reason, because it is simply stunning. And Cooking with Treyvaud is going to bring you to all the locations, so don't worry. Now, what else have we got? We got a grapefruit. So turn our board over, and we're just basically going to peel the grapefruit. What we're looking for is the segments of the grapefruit. So just cut down, taking the skin off. This is a pink grapefruit, and I want you to understand there's a reason why I'm putting the ingredients together that we're putting in this dish. And the reason is very simple. Think about this, right? The scallops are so fresh, they are so sweet. We've got a little bit of sharpness from our grapefruit here. And I'm going to show you this, guys. This is the holy grail of cooking as far as Treyvaud is concerned. This is bacon powder. Now this is so good, I even put it in my cornflakes. Actually, I've been known to put it on my toothpaste. It is so tasty, it just goes with everything. Basically, streaky rashers, grilled until crispy, pat off all the excess fat, allow them to go nice and dry, and blitz them in the liquidizer, and you've got this. So this is like as good as salt. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, how to get the segments of your grapefruit. So basically, you can see the skin in between each segment. So just put a sharp knife down, and as simple as that. Push it to a side, in there on the next one, and we keep going until we've got all the segments taken out. So, we want to fry off our coral, okay? So small pan, a little bit of olive oil. I said, bear with me, guys. It's not exactly the easiest of surroundings, so if things go out of shot, don't worry. We'll get them all back for you. And a little daub of butter, but not any butter, Kerry butter, into the pan. And that just goes straight up onto our heat. Now, if things go flying, you're going to have to bear with me. So how are we going to plate this up? It's as simple as this. And this makes an absolute beautiful starter. Our little kind of like, you know, an antipasto to bring to the table for everybody to enjoy. So basically, all we get is our little bits of scallop that are nicely thinly cut. And we're going to go around and around in a circle. And leave a gap in the middle to put our coral into it. You'll see that now in a sec. So just go around in your circle, and just concentrate a little bit on the presentation as well, you know. You want to make this look as beautiful as possible and to complement the Kenmare Bay scallops. There's also a beautiful location as well, is very well known for scallops, Valentia Bay. It's on the Ring of Kerry as well, so most people who come visiting here in Kerry will pass through it. Take that minute just to stop off and try some of these scallops and some of the wonderful restaurants around there. It is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to add in our scallop roe. Make sure that pan is nice and hot, and our butter is sizzling tones, so that is telling me we are good to go. And this literally takes minutes. Few other little things that we're going to add into the dish. Where is it? My little Tabasco. And think about this, right? Sweetness, sharpness, a little dash of heat. Oh baby, you know it's good. You know it's good. But literally only 6 or 7 drops. You're going to see in Cooking with Treyvaud that I've got a very simple rule. There is no point in overpowering dishes with one particular ingredient. If I put too much Tabasco in there, or too much chili, or too much garlic, well then that's all you're going to taste, and there's no point doing that. You want to taste everything. So flick over the coral and another few seconds on that side. And also we're just going to drop in some very finely sliced spring onions, or scallions as they're known as. And that's going to add a little bit of crunch factor. So at this point, scallions and grapefruit in. And we just give it a little toss in the pan. Absolutely beautiful. We can turn the heat off now because the residual heat is plenty. All we basically want to do is to warm up the grapefruit. The scallions, we want a little bit of crunch in it as well. And we're just going to add in a little pinch of pepper. And I'm going to season this part of the scallopone with a little bit of rock salt, but not a lot, just a little pinch. And that, if you could only smell this, guys, it's just absolutely beautiful. And we've actually made our bit of a dressing for that as well. So here we go. It's time to start plating up. Get our scallops, and we're going to put our bacon powder just on the outside of it, just like this, in a little ring all the way around. Oh, the smell of bacon is just amazing. And when you think about it, you've got your surf and turf, you've got all this kind of stuff, but this is just a little bit of saltiness. So it's a kind of a cool way of seasoning your scallops with a little bit of salt. And just take your time with it. Never rush when you're cooking. Somebody tells you to hurry up, tell them to go eat somewhere else, because you're going to the bother of cooking them a beautiful dish. And you're going to notice throughout this entire series, especially when we're outdoors, I'm going to tell you 1,000 times, just take a few minutes to appreciate the beautiful scenery and what's just here on our own doorstep here in Kerry. It's beautiful. There's a reason there's millions of tourists coming here every year. And now, our beautiful coral and pink grapefruit. We put that right in the middle. Oh, this is so tasty. So good. And you know what? It's a beautiful way to cook a fantastic produce. And always just put a little bit of garnish. You know, I've got a beautiful chive flower here. I've got a little bit of parsley. 2 seconds. Just that extra little bit. You often wonder at home, I can never recreate what they do in a restaurant. Well, these are the simple little steps that just make your dish stand out to perfection. And this, guys, I'm actually really proud of this one. This is fantastic. Make sure you use fresh scallops, especially when you're eating them like this raw. This is a beautiful carpaccio of Kenmare Bay scallops with a little bit of coral and pink grapefruit dressing. Trust me guys, try this. I guarantee you, you are absolutely gonna love it. And tell everybody about cooking with Treyvaud, because this is just the first of many dishes that I'm gonna bring to you.